Good evening, and thanks for tuning in. We are so happy tonight to have two very special guests. As women, we all know we really need those special friends in time of need, in time of sorrow, in time of happiness. Women need each other. Unlike men who feel if they tell their friends they have problems that they're not worthy. Well, I have two wonderful guests, and you are going to be so excited tonight, Tammy and Judy. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you. And Judy happens to be my esthetician, and I love her. And I'm a huge fan of Tammy, so this is quite an honor to be here with you tonight, ladies. But one of the reasons that you're here is because you have been friends for how long?
26 years.
26. Tell me how you met.
Do you want to tell Judy? Do you want me to tell it? Well, Jim and I were looking for a home, and we wanted to be on the water. And so we come down this hill looking at this house that was sitting there, and all of a sudden the cutest lady I ever saw in my life and the cutest little boys I ever saw walked out of the house that was almost on the same property, wasn't it,
Right.
Judy? Mm-hmm. And welcomed us and said hello and told us about the neighborhood. And from that moment, the very moment we met, we were friends.
We were friends, weren't we?
Yes, we were.
I told Tammy that we had to be friends because I had only lived there a couple years. I hadn't had time to make friends. And look what I got as a friend. A woman who is famous all over the world, and we just became friends.
We did. You know, I think I was praying for a friend, and I wouldn't doubt but what Judy wasn't praying for a friend too. And when you pray and ask God to send someone into your life, you know, He always sends the right person. And Judy was the right person for me because immediately I trusted her. You know, I often wondered who I could trust. And it's very, very difficult for me to become really good friends with someone because you don't know what their motives are. I mean, you may end up on the Globe or the Enquirer or what else. And I knew the minute I met Judy that I could trust her with my very life, and I still can today.
And that means something because you've been friends for that many years. Now, you guys have been through a lot together.
We've laughed a lot.
Yes, we have.
We've cried. We've cried a lot. We've been through just unbelievable things.
Yes.
Because, of course, living, you know, we were just next door to each other, and so whenever I had a problem, I ran to Judy's house and got a tab out of her refrigerator.
And we talked.
And we'd talk and cry and laugh and joke, and our kids, we raised our children together. And I think there's a special bond, Debbie, when you raise your children together. And I remember when my daughter used to carry your son around, and now your son finally got bigger than Tammy's son.
And is married and has two children.
And
of
has
his
two
own.
children. All of our kids are married now, but our children grew up together, and we went through the trauma oft times with our kids, and she had a wild husband, a wild and crazy husband.
Oh, the
who would
things.
take us 100 miles an hour on the lake in his boat.
Screaming. We would be screaming.
Slow
Stop.
down, Blair, slow
Please. Oh, those days.
We have had some fun times together. I think, you know, you're talking about the fact how much women need each other. And I think there is a special bond between certain women. And I think women need each other almost more than they need a male presence in their life. They need a female presence in their life. Because men, no matter what they say,
That's right.
they really don't understand us.
They don't.
You know, they can't understand the working of the complicated working of a woman's mind.
Right.
And we think with both sides of our brain, and they think with one side.
And our heart.
And we're heart run.
Right.
Where men are a lot of work run and they're practical and get a job done and just, you know, don't add frosting to it. You know, we always add frosting to the cake and of life, you know, and drama and the whole thing. And men just say, well, let's just do it and get it done. And so I think women need each other desperately.
But it's also difficult to find. You guys have been through ups and downs with each other. You know, it's hard to find a friend that's there through the thick and the thin. You know, it's oftentimes you have lots of friends, but not a real best friend like you are to each other because You were there to hold each other's hands when Blair, was killed in the plane crash, and then some things that happened to you. You were there for each other to really pull each other, and what that means as a best friend, as a woman.
Well, I think it keeps you alive. I think there's times when a best friend can actually keep you alive, because I think that your body, what happens in your body, has a lot to do with your mental attitude towards life. And Judy was always there to say, Tam, if anybody can make it, you know you can make it. And she would always give me that little pump of courage. Well, Judy says I can, so
I can. I have to. And this one doesn't want anyone to worry. We always try, for the past 26 years, to have Christmas together.
Yes, we do.
As a family. And of course, our family is smaller now. We have Blair, of course, passed away, and
Jim went away.
And Jim went away. And Jim went away. Right. But we have Ro.
We have Ro.
We have Ro,
who
who's
is
awesome,
wonderful,
awesome.
absolutely wonderful. And
not
this past Christmas.
She does.
Not
hey,
this past
Dan.
Christmas.
Jude.
Let's embarrass her.
Oh,
Okay,
please.
let's.
After being single for 14 years, it's kind of interesting to be 62 years old and be going out on a date.
And she loves it. I mean, she gets excited.
I do. It's fun. It's like being a teenager all over again.
Isn't that fun at
but
our age to
but
be
we
a
are in our
teenager?
60s.
Do you not try to fix her up a million times?
Oh, man, I've told everybody. I mean, I can't believe how this cute little thing can get by for 14 years without men just at her door. And men were at her door, but she's too picky. Well, but that's good, Jude. That's good.
That's good.
That's
Okay.
good. I compliment you on that.
Well, you have a wonderful husband.
I have a totally awesome,
Yes.
handsome,
Yes.
understanding
He's
husband.
wonderful.
He is. He's a good man.
Seems like a good soulmate.
He has brought a lot of peace to my life. My life was not peaceful. And for 32 years, I lived a life that I was on the edge. I mean, just literally like I was walking on the edge all the time. And your body can't take walking on the edge all of the time. And when Ro came into my life, it was like he brought a peace to me that I can't even, I want to cry when I talk about it, because it's so wonderful to be peaceful. It's so wonderful to be able to be who you are, and not to be just a right arm of someone, but to be a person yourself. He has allowed me to be the little girl that I knew was in there somewhere, but I couldn't find her anymore. And he's allowed that little girl to come out, and we've been married 12 years, and we still flirt and do naughty things with each other.
That could be another show.
But that's so fun. It's so fun being with Ro, because you don't dare pull a trick on him, because he'll say, if you pull a trick on him, you don't know when it's going to come, but you're going to get paid back.
He does seem wonderful.
He's made her so happy.
He
and
has.
I don't think that she would have been able to get through what she went through in the past year without him.
No, I couldn't have.
He gave her all the strength, because she is someone who is so positive and so strong and doesn't want anyone to worry.
Well, I don't want to cry in front of anybody.
I
Ro
know.
says it's okay to cry.
Yes.
It's okay to
Let you
cry.
be you, the
Yes.
person that you are.
Yeah.
Not the person that you think
That
you
I
should
have
be,
to
but
be.
Right,
I'm strong for
exactly.
everybody always, I'm
right.
not afraid that if I'm weak for him, he lets me be weak. I don't have to be the strong person in the relationship,
Because he's strong.
because he's the strong person in the relationship. And I think a woman needs a strong person in the relationship.
Right.
Someone that can, for she doesn't always have to be the strong one.
That you can rely on and know that he's there through the good and the bad.
Yeah, and he don't care what you look like. He doesn't care. He said, when I had cancer, I didn't marry you for your hair. I didn't marry you for anything other than
For
I
your
just
eyelashes.
Yeah,
That
I
fell
had no
out.
eyelashes.
Eyelashes fell out.
None, and he still knew me. My kids even recognize me.
But you are doing better now.
Oh, I'm doing much better. Yes, I am. And they say cancer is something that probably you will live with the rest of your life. I had stage 4 cancer, and I couldn't figure out what is stage 4 cancer. And stage 4 cancer is a cancer that has transferred from one place to the other. That's all that makes it stage 4. And So I lost my eyelash. I did keep my hair. I prayed so hard. Oh, God, please, please. Please let me keep my hair. And I did. I kept my hair, but my eyelashes all fell out. I thought that was a given. I never dreamed. Oh. And WE, they have done a movie on me going through cancer, and it will be airing on WE. They said, Tammy, call it We, on We Network in July sometime.
Oh.
So they're doing 90 minutes of it, which is really interesting.
We'll be able to see that here, right? Yeah, we get that channel. And you also have a new book.
I do. And the funny thing is, we titled it Before Anything Ever Happened, before I even knew. And I forgot the name of the book. I Will Survive. I Will Survive. I will survive, and
that is something
you will
too. That has happened as we have grown into maturity together. We have little moments where we kind of lapse memory.
Oh, I have
that. We complete each other's sentences.
We kind of finish each other's sentences.
And the thing is, me and Judy, we can be talking 100 miles an hour, and we're both talking about our subject, and we still know exactly what each other said.
That's right.
Now, tell me something.
That's something men don't understand. That's right.
Tell me something about Judy as your best friend that most people would not know about her.
Judy is the most gentle, loving spirit, but of course you can see it all over her. You know, there's no pretense in Judy. She is just who she is, and if she tells you that she won't tell something, she'll go to her grave with it.
Aww.
And that's the honest truth about Jude. And I can go to Judy's house, and I walk into her house, and I've told her this before, I want to sleep. I feel that there's a peace in her home. It's a God thing that's in Judy's house. When you walk in there, there's a peace that you feel. And I always tell Judy, when I walk in your house, I just want to sit down and curl up and go to sleep. And I would feel that I could go to sleep at Judy's house anytime.
Oh, that's what we love, Judy. Now tell me something about Tammy.
Well, other than being one of the top 10 people in the world who is the most noticed, who is my best friend. When I prayed for a best friend, I just wanted the Lord to give me someone that I could be compatible with, have fun with. And when he sent me this lovely lady, and of course, we had children almost the same age. I mean, it was unbelievable. We had two very short husbands who were very competitive, very intelligent.
Both very intelligent, competitive men.
Very successful men. And we both felt that we did a lot of mothering.
And we kind of got left in the dust.
And we got many times.
We would be with each other. I'd go to Judy's house and just sit there and look at her, and she'd know we were left in the dust again.
That's right.
So you understood each other.
We did, totally. One look, and we knew.
I mean, from totally two different ways of life.
Yes.
I was a mother and a wife and helped my husband in his medical practice. Tammy was on national TV, and she had a cooking show, and when somebody didn't show, she would ask me, who very rarely cooked, and
we'd always cook up something, wouldn't we?
We always would cook up something together. We would help each other out, and she has a spirit that what you see is what you get. And when anything has happened through the years, and of course anything that's happened to this woman has been public, and everything she ever said in response to questions, always the truth. Always the truth. She never coded anything. When PTL was, all the PTL problems, never. This was the way it was, and this is how she dealt with it, and it took a great deal of strength to deal with everything that she had to deal with. We went to Palm Springs to be with Jim and Tammy when all that happened. Yeah. And we could hardly get in the gate because of the press. Then they came home, and we could not get mail or have our papers delivered because the international press was parked in our driveway for about two weeks.
Long time.
We had, she had no privacy.
Nope.
And they hounded her no matter where she went. But she spoke to the press with dignity, with grace, with a spirit that was just unbelievable.
I try to see people are just people. Right. And so the press has a job to do. Some of them don't do it well, some of them do it very well. And you just have to deal with people as people. And I got to tell you something about Judy that I love so much. The way I think it's a test of a true girlfriend is when you haven't spoken to each other for years, and because your lives have gone in different directions. I was in California. I moved to California. Judy was here. And the minute we get together, we take up where we left off. There's no time. There's no time warp at all.
That's amazing. That's a true best friend. And I can see the interaction with you two today. I mean, you're crying, you're laughing. I mean, everybody out there is going to be jealous because they're going to want a best friend like you two are.
Everybody needs a best friend. And they need a friend that they can trust with their deepest secrets of their heart and their true feelings. And Judy has been that friend for me, and I will thank God until the day that I die. When I wasn't telling anyone else a secret that I had that was really horrifying, it was that at a point where it was about the cancer, and I could call Judy and talk to Jude about it. And she just encouraged me, and we prayed about it, and we serve the same master. We serve the same daddy. We serve the same God. Right. And that too, when you have that in common, that draws you closer together because we're family. I mean, I'm closer to Judy than I am members of my own family. I can tell her things that I could never tell members of my own family.
Because you can trust her.
Because we can trust each other,
She's
really genuine.
Is.
And Tammy would always be there for me, no matter what. I mean, we went through a horrible death.
We did. It was it was horrible.
In California with cancer. But I will tell you that Jim came.
Yes, he did.
And he took care of everything.
He did.
He took care of everything. And when this beautiful
and that's
flower
when Blair
arrangement,
died, right?
When this beautiful flower arrangement came, and they brought it to the funeral home, and they gave it to us, and he said, "Where do you think it should be?" I said, "It has to be right there at his head," because he loved Tammy so much. It had to be there, and she was in California battling colon cancer.
Yeah, colon cancer.
At that time.
That's right.
And
but I was really glad that Jim was there for her because that's the kind of man Jim is too.
Right.
Judy has stayed a friend with Jim too.
Yes, I have.
And if Blair were still alive, I would still be Blair's
That's
friend.
right.
The fact that what happened, the divorces that happened in both of our lives, really changed nothing as far as us disliking the men that we were once married to. We were all still friends, and we could all still be together, and it was fine.
Well, you have so much in common too. I think when you have a best friend, you have God in your life, and you understand how important God is in your life. You had families that were the same age, so you had a lot in common, a lot of common ground.
And a lot of our friends were the same friends too, although some of them we didn't trust as much as we trust each other.
You wouldn't tell them everything like you would, Judy.
That's right.
We kind of...
Well, I think you're both amazing women. I think just incredible. I think you're inspiring to other women because you both really live from the heart. You can tell from your smiles and from your touch and from the love that you're the real thing. And I feel so blessed to have you on the show. I just feel honored, and I know our viewers out there are going to love this and want a friend like you guys are because I just love you both.
Oh,
thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll be right back. Segment is on smile makeovers and more. You want to learn how to get that fantastic Hollywood white smile? Well, we have the answer for you tonight. It's not just about veneers, it's about tooth whitening. We're all confused because there's so many different methods of tooth whitening. But I have a fabulous guest tonight that's going to explain it all to you, Dr. Chip Payet. Welcome, Chip. We're so excited you're here. Yay. He, of course, is my dentist and makes my smile beautiful with a little veneer help here and there. But tell us about the tooth whitening. That's one of the many emails I get is about the different types of tooth whitening. Let's walk through that tonight.
Okay, Deborah, that's actually one of the questions I get most of the time too. There's several different ways to whiten your teeth. One of the most common ways that people always try before they come to see me is they try a lot of the over-the-counter products, some of the gels, the toothpaste, the strips. And sometimes people get great results with those, but most of the time they don't, just because they're not really that strong. So when they come to me, they want to know, what can I do? What's the best way to really get a dazzling white? Several different ways again. The most common way, the thing that's been around for the longest, the custom trays. We make molds of your teeth, top and bottom. We fit them to your teeth. You take the gel home, and most people like to wear them at night. They need to be in for at least 4 up to 8 hours. Depending on the kind of results you want, it can take quite a while to get that result. And people these days, they want results and they want them fast.
Now, when you say quite a while, is it 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Again, it depends on how white you want them. And again, a lot of it actually depends on diet. This is what people always ask. They say, how long is it going to last? And I say a lot of it depends on what you eat and what you drink. If you're like me and you love your Starbucks or your Caribou or you love tomato sauces, those kinds of things will make it last not as long.
Tomato sauce, because it has the acid in it?
Exactly. So to get a great result with the at-home whitening, it can take anywhere from 2 to 4, maybe even 6 or 8 weeks, depending on how dark your teeth are starting. But like I said, most people these days don't want to wait that long.
Right.
They want results, they want it fast. So then we look at what kind of methods do we have. There are many different brands. There's Zoom, there's Bright Smile, there's Rembrandt. There's a lot of different brands that can accomplish what you want. Most people think they're lasers. They're not really lasers anymore just because of safety concerns. But they do use lights, either ultraviolet or LED, and it just helps the gel, what they say is the gel is activated a little bit more with the light. The exposure helps just get a faster result. And it's a more concentrated gel that we can use in the office under our supervision. But these days what we're finding is people want Hollywood white.
Right,
and
just like I did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to get a Hollywood white, I mean something that just is dazzling, for that, if we're not going to go to veneers, which of course allows us to customize the whiteness and it just stays that way, is we do something now called deep bleaching. And deep bleaching is more of a technique rather than a brand. It can be done with Zoom, with Bright Smile, with Rembrandt. Any dentist who has an in-office whitening can do it. It's a combination technique of the in-office whitening and the at-home whitening. And it's with a couple little tweaks that we make in the office, it's that combination that will guaranteed get incredible results. And this is the thing that's absolutely the most amazing. Even people who have tetracycline stains, and this is, they often don't believe me when I tell them I can get great results for them because they've tried everything in the past and they know it doesn't work. But then they try the deep bleaching and they walk out after 2, maybe 3 weeks with that just because of how dark they're starting. They're all the way off the scale sometimes, but they'll walk out with Hollywood white smiles too.
Well, that has to be revolutionary because tetracycline, you've heard so many years, and you can tell from the very, very brown stains has never been able to be worked on. So that's amazing that they've come out with that.
It really is. It's remarkable, and like I said, so many people don't believe it at first.
Right.
They're very skeptical. They're like, oh, come on, doc, everybody's told me it before and it didn't work. But when we get finished with the deep bleaching, they're believers.
Now, tell me the cost of the in-home, at-home trays. How much is that basically for just a general case?
Again, depending on what brand and who's doing it, it can range anywhere from $200 to $400. And some of that's just depending on how long you need to whiten. You may need a lot more gel to get the results. The in-office whitening, the Zoom, Bright Smile, Rembrandt, that can range anywhere from $500 to $700.
According to how many treatments there are?
Right. And the deep bleaching usually runs anywhere from $900 to $1,200. Again, depending on how dark you're starting and how long we're going to need to go to get the best result.
And what's amazing to me is the 3 different variations, but according to what you really want, they all work tremendously because, you know, we all, like you said, drink too much coffee, we drink soda, the tomato juice, and over a period of time, even, you know, children in their 18 and 19, now they're drinking so much Starbucks.
Oh, yes.
They're getting stained teeth. So it's amazing that we've gone to this where we can just wear a tray at home or just come in and get a Zoom and get that Hollywood white and correct the problems that we had before. Now we have some pictures that we're going to show in just a minute. We also have a live model. Now tell me what you did with her.
Okay, with Alexis we did do the deep bleaching because she wanted a white smile. And so again, what that starts off is we have a conditioning visit in the office with the Zoom light, and that's about 20 to 30 minutes. We make the custom fitted trays, And she wore those for, I believe in her case, it was 3 weeks just because of the time between visits. And then we had her back today actually to finish up, and we did an hour in the office. And I think she's very pleased. We just got a phenomenal, beautiful result.
So we're going to show that to our audience at home to show the different ones, but that's the third variation. And then also I've had so many people have the tray whitening, and they're very, very happy with that because of the cost, because it is a $200 to $400 cost. You have the trays and they last forever, and all you have to do is replace the gel.
Exactly.
So economically, that's a great way to go.
Exactly.
If you want an instant result, then the zoom or the extreme zoom is the best result, because like you said, we're a society that wants instant. You're getting ready to do an event or go somewhere and you want that Hollywood white smile. So, you know, it's according to what that person is looking for, their budget, and end all and be all the result.
Yeah, that's what when somebody comes in, they want to have their teeth whitened, I always ask them, it's like, what do you really want? Do you just want a little bit brighter? You know, maybe you've just, you know, got some coffee stains or cigarette stains. And for that, you know, the cigarette, or the at-home whitening may be perfect. They just want to brighten things up a little bit.
Right.
But if somebody comes in and says they really want Hollywood white, they want dazzling, they want gorgeous, then we'll look at either the zoom or, in most cases, actually the deep bleaching. So it's based on what do you want to achieve.
Right, and as you were talking, they showed Alexis with her Hollywood white smile, and it is amazing. It looks dynamite. I mean, it is definitely Hollywood white. It looks like she's had veneers. It's so perfect.
And just about, but nice thing is we were able to do that without having to actually really do anything to her teeth.
Right, and we showed some before and afters of some of the work that you've done as well. You also do great with veneers. I mean, you're really good because you really custom make the veneers. Everybody's, you know, it's a science with veneers, and you are awesome at that. So that is one of your traits that is well known across the country. So Dr. Chip Payet, the cosmetic dentist to the stars. He not only does tooth whitening, but veneers. And would you like to give our audience a few closing words on the importance of Hollywood white smiles and what can it do for your life? Okay.
What I love about smile makeovers, whether it's something as simple as whitening or maybe a total smile makeover, is the difference that it can make. I have patients who come to me, oftentimes they literally hide their smile with their hand when they laugh or they smile because they don't want anybody to see, you know, the crooked teeth, dark, ugly, stains. And when they walk out and they have a beautiful new white smile, straight, even, oh, the difference. I mean, sometimes people literally end up in tears, just tears of joy, because for the first time they can feel good when they're at a party with friends, if they're going to a wedding. They can just walk around they can look in the mirror and feel good about their smile.
And you have to feel good about helping those people feel good about themselves.
It's the most rewarding part about dentistry these days.
Oh, well, thank you for being here, Chip. And our audience, if you want that Hollywood white smile, well, you know what to do now. It's either the trays, the zoom, or the extreme zoom. And you too can be flashing those pearly whites and feel like $1,000,000. Thank you.